So, guys, I just came across this headline, and I think this has been causing so many controversies online. And like I said, the next election is going to be hot, because now everybody is now coming out to lie against P2B. This one man called P2B, everybody is lying up and down. So, some reporters tweeted, they said P2B blocked from private meeting with Tinubu in Rome hotel over Fidelity Bank 225 billion naira debt crisis. And this year is a total lie. I will show you why. Just take a listen at this interview first of all, and then I will give you P2B's response on this lies and accusation. And you see that these people are lying. Just follow me through. Watch this video first, and then at the end, then I will give you P2B's response.
There's this publication that P2B actually didn't go to Rome simply because he wanted to witness Papa's ceremony, the Pope, new Pope ceremony and all that. That he just went there as an opportunity to meet Asiwaju so that he can discuss about the judgment debts that Fidelity Bank is facing. Bill was once a chairman as a young man of Fidelity Bank, So, and that people should not be deceived that is why he went there with fire me. Investigations are still ongoing whether this is true or not. To be himself has not come out to say this is true or not true. But let's just even take the worst case scenario. For example, Obi was a businessman,
Still a
businessman, actually, because he's not occupying any position.
Yes.
He's still a businessman. So let me just assume publication might not be true, yes, because we don't know yet, until we hear from him. Do you think such negotiation should be happening there, closed door, or official negotiation should have happened? Obi knowing that a lot of followers behind him will not expect him to be doing anything kind of secret plea or whatever. You can plead, you can make an open plea, have like a committee set up by Fidelity Bank to go for this negotiation. There's always a negotiation in anything. Do you think that what this publication has chances of being true? And if I thought it is true, do you think Obi would have taken the right step?
It's always said that there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
But in this case, we need to take our mind back. We need to ask ourselves some salient question. First, this judgment debt, when was he given by the Supreme Court? What date? Secondly, when was the papacy inauguration? Was the judgment first or after? We need to know that. I don't have that fact. So these are some questions we need to ask. Third question, is there any way to show that while in Rome, Obi had a meeting with Tinubu other than
the one we saw?
The fact that you have prominent Nigerians, especially from the West, that were at Rome alongside
exchanging pleasantries
with Obi. Obi is a Catholic. Obi was in Rome when the other Pope passed on. He went back for the inauguration of this new one. Are you saying that he went to Rome in the first time to prepare ground for this one? Because at that one, it was Ababi and other that went, and he was there to prepare ground to discuss the judgment that has not come. When this kind of rumor come up in this kind of the I don't know which news media, public
Sahara reporter.
When Sahara reporter brought out, we know Sahara reporter and their aunties. We know what they did during Jonathan. You have said one thing, that if there's a bad governance and people are saying that this government is bad, including me saying it's bad, and you are trying to form a coalition to remove the government, and I turn back to fight you, then I am working for the bad government. I am saying that is bad. In other words, I'm saying that the government is not bad. Sahara reporter claimed to fight for the people, claimed to be a mouthpiece of the people, and they have said time with another that this government is not working. I don't know what they intend to achieve with this story if it is not true. But if it is true, well, like you said, Obi is a businessman. But I don't know today whether Obi still owe Fidelity Bank or he still
has some shares,
or he still has the lion's share. If it's a big shareholder and he wants to save his business,
it's natural.
It's natural, but I don't know why it should be blown out of proportion. Okay. Obi has said that he's not quarreling with Tinubu. What he's quarreling with is bad governance. He's quarreling with poverty. If all the things that are not good, that is quarreling with Nigeria, that is not working for the Nigerians.
All right. Kingsley, let me put it to ladies, and I want you to get us on track on the two sides. Yeah. Do you think Sahara reporters should name? They are not under obligation to name their source once they are sure their story is true. Yeah. Do you think Sahara reporters should make it more credible by letting us know how they got to know, even though they are not under any obligation to do so? And two, do you think P2B should also come out and say this is true or not true? And even though it's true, look at what happened, even though he's also not under immediate obligation to do so?
Okay, number one, if you are an analyst and you look into that story very well, you find out that story is kind of fabricated. It's just to generate news.
Traction,
which I don't think there's any need for that. Number one, Philip has already said it. Obi went to the Vatican when he has
always been going to he's a very committed Catholic.
When the Pope passed, in fact, he joined this other cardinal and to observe that, and he was there during all those days. In fact, he got there before the Nigerian delegation. Now, after it simmered down, the new Pope came. Himself and Fayemi went there. Onanuga gave us an analysis of how Fayemi said, look at the president, let's go and greet him. And they went there. So Fayemi said,
I will have video. There's a video.
There was even a purported AI generated.
No, that one has been discredited.
He's also on the same president that he's following. Now Fayemi said, President, we are welcoming you because we are the one that is Catholics.
Then, so this news might be AI generated.
Then the president said, no, I'm the head of Nigerian delegation. Then Obi replied, he said, we are members of your delegation. This was what transpired in what they said. Now, if you are discussing a business matter like that of a bank as big as Fidelity, will you discuss it standing in an open place like that? Of course, they also told us that the Obi wanted a private meeting with the president, which the president delegation said no. I think these are all just fabricated. I don't think there was anything like that. If there was, Obi can. Of course, they also said that there are a lot of Nigerians, prominent Nigerians, including the Ooni of Ife, that Obi has approached to help him see the president and all that. I wonder really, what would the president do if a Supreme Court judgment has already been passed concerning a money that is being owed back? What will the president do? Or do you think the Obi that we know, we want the president to subvert?
That's actually where I'm coming. Even the beneficiary of the judgment is not even federal government.
No.
The private and
it's private and GP, Kappa, and so I'm just wondering, how would government intervention come in? Is it that they want to enforce the judgment, government will tell them don't enforce it? How would government have helped, assuming there is any credibility to the story?
You see, that's why the story, is dead on arrival, because this serious-minded person should ask the question you just asked, because the judgment is not between the government and Fidelity Bank, that you cannot go and plea for leniency or for mercy or what have you. These are private transactions between individuals in the society, and they have dispute and they went to court, and court has decided if Obi must go to anywhere or Fidelity must go to anywhere.
The case has been on for God knows when.
For settlement. It's the plaintiff that they will go to look. Yes, we'll fought this battle to this level, and this is okay. Let's discuss in terms of payment. I don't think the government has any role to play in this. You see, like he said, it's just to gain traction.
But you see, this, when we were talking about that AI generated picture the other day, I said it, that if you don't curtail these things, either by lawsuit or in a certain manner, people will continue to go ahead to churn out messages and churn out publications that at the end of the day, it's not everybody that read it would read either the withdrawal or the apology or the discrediting of the story by the subject of the story.
But Okafor, let me tell you something. These kind of stories, in a political space, they are allowed. In America, there are allegations and counter allegations, and nobody goes to court for them. They are as a result of political gimmicks that everybody is playing. They are everywhere. Trump told Obama one time that he's not an American. I mean, did Obama go to court? No. In fact, Obama invited him for the president dinner that they had. Now, what we should be talking about is that why is Sahara reporter and Sowore after Obi? Obi is not in government. Obi is in the opposition. Obi, is it that he wants the government that is in power right now and the failures of government? None of them is attributed to Obi. APC has been in power for 8 years. After 8 years, APC came back to power for these 2 years now. For the past 10 years, APC has been in power. We have not seen Sahara reporter and Sowore attack the presidency like they're attacking.
Yeah, like we said it the other time, because I was very, very categorical about that. If you say you have any issues with this government, and somebody is putting out, that was when I was speaking about El-Rufai the other day. Yes. People were calling for my head, which is normal. And somebody is putting up a coalition that might be able to stand, at least for us to have the election. Even why I also made it clear that the current government has a clearer pathway to victory. Why? Because they have the ability to perform before 2027. They can decide to use 2026 budget to be a budget of revitalization. And by 2027, Nigerians will be begging Asiwaju to continue. But this opposition do not have that advantage. So the government has advantage over them. Now, when you see instrument of media, which should be holding government accountable, as a matter of fact, more of holding government accountable than even individual or opposition. When you see the instrument of media being used to kind of attack or place at a disadvantaged position, placing opposition at a disadvantaged position, that instrument of media, how do you classify it? Is it contributing to democracy or withdrawing from democracy?
You see, Sahara reporter over the years, they are known for agent of destruction. They don't want anything good for this country from their activities. I'm not just saying they did it to Jonathan, like you rightly said, that you have pointed it out. Obi is not a government. Why the instrument that you're supposed to use to enlighten people on what to do being channeled, against people who are in opposition? Like you said, if why are you throwing missiles to the wrong direction? Is it that if Obi or El-Rufai form a coalition that will remove Tinubu, will it make life worse for the Nigerians?
At least for there to even be election first, because as it is going now, everybody is going into APC. Yes. At a point, if there is no El-Rufai or big coalition or all this kind of coalition coming, we'll call on INEC to save the money.
Exactly.
There's no need going for election, we'll save the money.
So I begin to wonder whether Sowore is actually activist for the masses or activist for his pocket, because his main instrument, which is Sahara reporter, had not shown that they are for
all right. The time is guys, based on that lie, here was what P2B have to say, but I said that P2B responded. And here's the response. P2B said, it's obvious that the biggest business for blackmailers now is talking about P2B from every negative perspective. Even my solemn spiritual trip to Rome has been twisted into yet another blackmail campaign by merchants paid ostensibly to propagate anything negative about P2B. One such individual whose entire life revolves around blackmail falsely claimed that I went to Rome to have a private meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu regarding a purported 225 billion naira debt crisis involving Fidelity Bank. These claims are not only baseless, malicious, but entirely false. Let me categorically state that I have never sought an audience with nor met President Tinubu since he assumed office, except about 1 minute meeting at the arena of St. Peter Basilica, Rome, during the inauguration mass of Pope Leo, where I was seated behind and had to respectfully greet him and other dignitaries present. I was previously in Rome on the 9th of May for the laying state of Pope Francis. Immediately after the mass and exchanging pleasantries, I went straight from Vatican City to London and then back to Nigeria. The self-proclaimed blackmailer-in-chief, the others who thrive on spreading pain and falsehoods have also claimed that I own Fidelity Bank. For the record, I do not. Throughout my career, I have served as chairman, director of 3 banks, financial institutions, of which Fidelity is one of them. Fidelity has over 500,000 shareholders, none of whom hold a majority stake. What this blackmailer seeks is to harm these hardworking Nigerians and cause them needless distress. To those peddling these falsehoods and engaging in blackmail, I offer a simple prayer. May God grant you the virtues of gratitude and understanding to know that we came here with nothing and we will go with nothing. That they cannot profit from their evil ways. Simple. If I do evil from now till tomorrow, you can never profit on the evil ways. So people have responded that those things are like, he didn't go there to meet President Tinubu and he does not own any Fidelity Bank. And like he said, he did not go there to have any meeting about the debt crisis of Fidelity Bank or anything. He went there because he was invited for the inauguration of the Pope, of the new Pope. Simple as that. So I think this response of him. But let me go to your views in the comment section, because it have reported that Sahara reporters, that Sowore is among the publishers, but I won't go there for them. Let me just get your views in the comment section. I'll be guys in my next video.